Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Jacksonville Buzz. I am your host, Adrienne Houghton, and joining me in the studio today is Richard Kodai, and he is from Nowhere Society Media. We're going to find out all about it. Welcome, Richard.
Thank you.
So you have a micro-budget film studio, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's correct.
Tell me how you got started.
So it's a long story, but I'm going to try to make it short. So I've been making movies to some degree or another for about 12, 13 years now. And for a long time I tried to make it happen, make it big. And it just never really worked out. There was always something that went wrong when I was trying to do movies for other people, other companies. And finally I was like, well, I'm just going to make my own company and I'm just going to make my own movie. It's going to be small because, the challenge is to raise money.
Yes.
and movies cost a lot of money. So I just decided, what's a small movie I can make? I came up with a premise, an idea, and I knew that I was going to be hopefully able to raise some money for that. And that's how it all started.
So you've got this movie called Room O.
Room Zero.
Room Zero. Okay. So Room Zero, and it's what genre would you say?
Okay, so it's a mix of several, I guess, a few science fiction, thriller, and crime.
Whoa! So did you write the movie as the script as well as?
Yes, indeed. So it's pretty much a one-man show at this point.
Okay.
I did most of the pre-production and the post-production as well. So I wrote it, I directed it, I produced it, and I did the post-production. So I edited it and sound design, all that.
You must be extremely proud that it's now completed.
Yes, I am proud.
Just a little.
I am proud.
And how do people see this? Where are they going to be able to see it?
Okay, so it's coming out next Tuesday, the 19th. On various platforms, streaming platforms such as Apple TV, iTunes, and Amazon Prime, and things like that. Right now we have a pre-order link, so if people want to help out, they should pre-order the movie, because all pre-orders count as first-day purchases on the 19th on iTunes or Apple TV. And if we place in the top spot, that can really help the movie down the line, to get onto even more platforms and things like that.
Now, obviously, they'd be able to go to your website and your Nowhere Society Media.
Yes.
How did you come up with that name?
Okay, so I had a bunch of names, a bunch of possible names on a list, and I was just sending my top 5 or top 10 to my friends, family, everybody, and they picked their top 3, and everybody picked Nowhere Society as their either top 1 or top 2. I'm like, okay, so
it's
I'm gonna
working.
go.
So that's
yeah,
fine.
it sounds good. So that's the number one meaning, or number one reason it's Nowhere Society. But there's a meaning behind it too, I guess, is that I've been trying to make it happen for such a long time, and a lot of creatives are like me. They're hustling and they're working hard, but they don't really seem to get anywhere. So that's the Nowhere Society. It's all the artists who are working in the shadows and still working and still not giving up and still pushing and hustling and all that.
I want to ask you a little bit about what the biggest challenges have been for you with putting this particular movie together.
Okay, so the number one challenge was raising the money, even though it was just a very little amount.
Right.
I personally didn't have that money, so that's always the challenge.
Right.
If you don't have your own money, to raise the money is always the challenge. But other than that, post-production was pretty challenging for me, because I had to relearn or get better at some of the skills I already had. And so post-production was a little bit challenging, but also production, because we shot the movie in 5 days only, and it's a full feature-length movie. So that was challenging to get everything done.
Keep everything on time.
So yeah, it was challenging all around, probably.
Bearing in mind all the challenges that you've faced,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that you've got the movie coming out on Tuesday, do you have other projects in mind? And I'm going to have to say, keep it quick because we're going to run out of time.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise.
So a couple possible projects, maybe a cosmic horror movie, maybe a revenge thriller, or maybe a quirky sci-fi movie. One of those.
One of those three. So watch this space. Watch the Nowhere Society media link.
Exactly.
Thank you, Peter, for coming. Richard, sorry,
It's okay.
I said Peter. I don't know why. Because you look like
I
a
look
Peter.
like a Peter. Okay.
No, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Good luck
Thank you.
on Tuesday.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And if you'd like to know any more information about Nowhere Society Media, you can find it on dailynewsnetwork.com.